So this is the oldest bed. So, but all the beds are kind of made the same. They have the same basic features. So, right now this bed, is it in, can someone tell me, is it in normal?
Yes.
Yes. How do we know this?
The base.
The base is facing the head. So, and we know this because, first of all, the cord. The cord always on every bed, no matter which bed it is, always plugs in at the head of the bed. No matter what bed it is, the cord is always up here at the head towards the anesthesia. So no matter what bed it is, wherever it is turned, this is always going to be where the head belongs. So this is our normal position. So even though this bed does not slide, this is the head of the bed. So any surgery where you're right here, this is normal position. So if we were to do a gallbladder in this position, we could not, because the gallbladder, the serum is going to go under this bed. It is going to hit right here because the gallbladder, if I lay on this bed, my gallbladder is right here. If I had a gallbladder, it would be right here. And the serum could not go under here to get my gallbladder. So if I were to need to put this bed in the gallbladder position, what would I need to do? I need to volunteer to put this bed in the gallbladder position.
The head of the bed. You put it on the foot.
Rapid turnover.
You flip it around, preferably all while, and then you make sure you tighten it down.
And lock the bed.
Relock the bed. And we're also going to flip our.
Oh, you got my butt. So, notice what Amy just said. We're going to flip our cushions because, you know, we might have some little lady that's 5'3", her little butt fall into here. What's that going to do? That's going to hurt her back. It's going to, you know, cause some problems there. So we're going to flip our cushions to make sure she's totally. Yeah, we can either do that or we can do it with the bottom one, whichever one works the best. We're going to make sure that her whole back is totally, you know, firm right there. She's going to have plenty of cushion there. If, you know, they also fix this to make sure that she doesn't have a huge gap here for her shoulders. We want to make sure that she's totally has all kinds of cushion here. So now we are in a position where we have a gallbladder. We can bring the serum up here. So, one issue with this, we have someone who is top heavy. So, we have somebody who's like really, so we're going to have to kind of watch that too. Because this bed will hold, in regular form, it will hold 1,000 pounds. In this, I believe it only holds 500. So we have to be aware of that. So, if we have somebody who is for my 600-pound life, which we do sometimes here in Chillicothe, we have somebody in this bed who will sit this way. It will tip this way. So we have to be aware when we are looking at our patient's history, we see somebody who might be 650 pounds, and we just have this bed, one of those are practice to use this bed. So we might have to look into another bed, one of the other beds that can fit it, or we may have to think of some other ways that we can do this surgery, or to tell the doctor, hey, this may not be safe. Because these beds do and have tipped before, and that is a very big safety issue. So we need to be, as nurses and techs, aware of these issues with these beds. Okay. So this is gallbladder. Okay. So now that we're in a gallbladder position, any of the other beds that do slide back and forth, if you're thinking, gosh, is this gallbladder position or not? You always want to look at the base of the bed. If you look at this bed, the base is down here. So if you look at your bed in the other rooms and they're sliding, you can always tell whether or not your bed is slid the right way because your base of your bed is always going to be at the bottom of the bed. So always just imagine your C-arm sliding under here and whether or not it's going to be able to slide under here. So you can, you know, just by looking at it, it's my base of my bed at feet. Because your gallbladder's up here, the base needs to be at your feet. So always just think of that in your head, even though it's a slider. So all of the beds, regardless, can slide. You do not have to turn the other beds around. They will tell you, the serum people will tell you that which one is it? The Skytron bed has to be turned, but it is not. You can actually slide it far enough that it does not have to be turned.
I think there's only one of them that has like a big base on the are that they want you to turn, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't turn it, you have to, you can slide it.
The other, with the Skytron, the other thing that you run the risk of is where the remote connects, guys. That Skytron remote, like you guys know, is super finicky. And we've had a lot of problems getting it replaced and stuff because of where it connects. Even if you turn the bed and then slide it, like you would need to do for a gallbladder, and then it has to stretch back up the anesthesia, it almost overstretches the cord and won't strip it. We've had it happen.
Okay, now that we have this bed in gallbladder position, now we're going to do a urology case. So I need 3 different volunteers to turn this bed into a urology bed. Who wants to do that? Or Joanne? Okay. Come on, Juicy.
You can't use this bed for GYN and urology.
Right.
Would you like them? No. Yeah, you're all, sorry.
I'll walk it back.
No, you're actually. Oh, you definitely lied, Mom. She lied.
Oh, you're right. You don't like this piece
Yeah.
for GYN.
Right, that's what
I was like, what are we doing? That's why I was turning it.
This is urology.
Okay. You should migrate to it.
We won't put that on quite yet. That's part of it, that's another part of it. Alright, so notice they took the head of the bed off, which was down here. They took the head of the bed off. They took the bottom part where the legs go, the riser off and put the feet down. And then they put this part on. This is a really tall person. No one's this tall. Well, maybe some people are, but rarely is anyone this tall. Maybe Jacob, maybe not. So half the time when we pull somebody down, we're gonna pull them way down. Because little ladies especially, their heads probably down. So when we put somebody on this bed, their butt is gonna be right here. And keep in mind, these are 2 separate pieces of bed, so both of these pieces come off. And we wanna make sure this is really tight on here. They both come off, and we don't wanna, accidentally have somebody lay on this and like, their butt fall, because what are they gonna do? They're gonna fall like this, and they're gonna break the bottom of their back, and that's pretty bad. And when we're loosening this, we wanna make sure, once they're up in stirrups, we're just taking the bottom part off. We don't wanna take this off, because what's gonna happen is whole thing's gonna fall off, and again, they're gonna break their back. Safety issue. So when we're removing this, ooh, I'm not really good. We want to make sure this part is what comes off, and then they're on in stirrups, their buttocks. So this will come off, blah, 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 we'll do our sugar rate, and then we'll put it back on at the end of the case. When we put it on at the end of the case, and we tighten it up, make sure it gets tightened up, because I know I've seen some of the docs, especially some of the locums, will try to help you and put it back on. And then they'll just like stick it on and not think about it, and try to put the legs down. And not check it. I always check it. Look, I thought I locked that. I didn't. Bring the patient down on there, and then again, you could have to fall. You could have them break their back. You know, all kinds of stuff happen. We don't want any more falls here. So that is locked. So we have our patient safe again. One big thing that we've been having trouble with lately is this bed, once again, tipping. You have a patient, again, no one's this tall, no one's 7 foot tall. So we have a patient that are, it's maybe a bigger person, maybe short. We have a lot of like 300-pound people. We brought them all the way down to the bed, you know, because their butt's here and their head's here maybe. And they've got all their weight down here. And we don't notice it because we've got them up in the stirrups, so we place their weight here. So when we go to move them, all their weight's here, and this bed's gonna look like this. Forward.
Yeah, I
know.
It
It's
doesn't tip that way, but it's still the same issue,
I mean,
the weight is
right.
here.
You can,
and
it
facing
tips
the bed.
without anyone on there.
Does it?
Yeah. Like when you go to turn somebody, it tips.
Really?
And then when you have someone on there, it like comes all the way on the ground.
Oh, so that's what we're.
Yeah.
Sideways.
I mean, that-
And you roll the patient over and then it tips the whole thing.
Like almost every time.
Especially with this bed, this part here, again, like I said, comes off, and it is, even though it's on here tight, we don't always know that it's steady, so when we put it on there, when we put this on here, this is a big thing here. These need to be steady. So, I'm gonna show them this part. We never wanna put this here. This never ever goes on this part. Everybody over here. This never ever gets placed here, ever. You always want to put it here. If I did, but here. It always was on this here. That's part of the bed. Not on this one. And when you put it on, good lord. When you put it on, there we go. You always want to make sure it's secure right up against this bar. You do not want it to go on this bar, because you can see how it's moving, and this patient's leg is, easily fall off. So you want it to be up against this bar, as tight as it can be. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? You want to sleep on that side, or you good? Okay. So we want to make sure our stirrups are up that high on that. Does anyone else have any questions or issues about this bed?
I just have a comment.
Yes.
And
Yes, please.
if you can agree with me, the reason that GYN doesn't like that. I know one specific doctor will argue with you till you're in your grade that it will go on the bottom, so. On the,
If we can get away with it, just don't even use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For any GYN.
The GYN cases of like this, they just flip it around and push that
yeah.
down, and that's fine. And the reason the, Euro doctors do like this is because the C-arm can get under here better to get to the kidneys. Otherwise, we do it that way with the urology too, but this is the C-arm.
So for GYN, you would keep the attachment off.
Yeah, we would
Turn it around to normal
just put,
orientation.
yeah,
And
normal.
just keep the head of your bed on the end.
Yeah.
Kind of like reverse.
Like reverse gallbladder.
Reverse gallbladder, just put the feet down, this foot down, and just put the stirrups on the bottom.
You take these pieces off and drop.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit within that orientation.
Yeah. Just do a normal orientation, take the feet off. Yeah, lower the leg, like we do on the other beds. Yeah. Because they don't use the arm, so it doesn't matter. Any other questions? Concerns? Okay. That's it?
There are also the hand controls on the sides that don't really know where those are located in case the remote goes tripping.
You want to share everybody with me?
They're right on the, they're different on each bed, but they're on the base of the bed over here on the side.